World News Tonight this Saturday, the accelerating investigation into President Clinton. It has not hurt his ability to raise money. 25 tons of a powerful explosive stolen in West Virginia. That is 10 times the amount used in the Oklahoma City bombing. And hundreds of endangered birds slaughtered. Were efforts to save them too successful?
From ABC News, this is World News Tonight, Saturday.
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Vargas. Monica Lewinsky is expected to meet with prosecutors this weekend to prepare for her appearance before Kenneth Starr's grand jury, possibly as early as next week. The president is scheduled to testify after Lewinsky. We go first this evening to ABC's Tim O'Brien with the very latest on the investigation.
Sources at FBI headquarters in Washington say they hope to identify by Monday the stains found on a dark-colored dress belonging to Monica Lewinsky. Prosecutors believe the stains might prove a sexual relationship between Lewinsky and the president, despite the president's sworn denial. In the midst of this dramatic development, the key players in the Kenneth Starr investigation were getting away from it all. The president playing golf in the Hamptons, the independent counsel on his way to Toronto for a bar association meeting.
And our polls are showing increasingly people don't care if the president may have perjured himself. What does that mean? What does that say?
I'm not going to comment at all.
Former Watergate prosecutor Richard Benveniste says the average citizen would never be prosecuted for lying about a sexual relationship, even if under oath.
In a normal circumstance, no prosecutor in any jurisdiction who is a reasonable and experienced person would give a second thought to pursuing such an allegation.
But the president is not your average citizen.
The president is given the duty, the mandate to enforce the federal laws. If he is engaged in obstruction of justice or perjury, it's the most serious type of misconduct.
Even Lewinsky's lawyer had doubts today about how it all might end.
You think this case could bring down the president of the United States?
What do you think?
Ultimately, the president's fate may hinge on his own words when he testifies before the Lewinsky grand jury August 17th.
The White House announced this afternoon the testimony will be televised on a one-way audio-video hookup directly from the White House to the courthouse. The session, we're told, will also be videotaped for the benefit of any grand jurors who would be unable to attend. The tapes, however, we understand, will not be made available to the public or the media.
Tim, does that audio-video hookup mean that grand jurors will be able to ask questions of the president?
They will, but not directly. There will be a telephone hookup between the courthouse and the White House, and grand jurors who have questions will be able to relay those questions to prosecutors standing by with the president at the White House.
All right, Tim O'Brien this evening at the White House. Thank you. President Clinton is in the exclusive beach community of East Hampton this weekend on New York's Long Island. He is relaxing and raising money, lots of money. ABC's Mike Von Fremd is with the president.
He may be a lame duck president in the middle of a legal crisis, but he's never been more in demand. While the locals waited hours today on the chance they might catch a glimpse of the president here, the rich and famous are paying between $250,000 and $25,000 for a sure thing. Democratic officials who organized all these lavish fundraisers say that Kenneth Starr's investigation has only motivated the party faithful to give more money.
They know that there are political attacks underway to destroy the presidency and to destroy this party, and the president is determined to make sure that we have the resources to compete successfully this fall, and so do our donors.
4 years ago, many Democratic candidates feared being too close to Clinton. In fact, Republicans ran ads portraying Democrats as being Clinton clones. Now, with Clinton's approval rating remaining high, the political landscape has changed.
Candidates are lining up, both incumbent office holders and our candidates, to get the president to come to their district.
These presidential fundraisers have helped Democrats raise $30 million this year, nearly wiping out the debt the party incurred after the 1996 campaign finance scandals. While the president may be the party's money man, these visits may not translate into Democratic votes.
I think it's mainly money. I don't think it's coattails. I think it's the ability to attract attention, raise money, and energize the base of the Democratic Party, especially the wealthy base of the Democratic Party.
And that wealthy base will be out in force tonight at Kim Basinger and Alec Baldwin's party for the president, expected to bring in $300,000. Despite Kenneth Starr's investigation, the president's popularity is holding, but some Democratic officials privately concede these good times could end in an instant, depending on what the independent counsel ultimately reveals. Elizabeth?
All right, thank you, Mike Von Fremd, with the president this evening. Kenneth Starr's investigation is the topic tomorrow on This Week with Sam Donaldson and Cokie Roberts. Among the guests are Linda Tripp's attorney, Anthony Zaccagnini. In other news this Saturday, the FBI is hunting tonight for 25 tons of the powerful explosive ammonium nitrate stolen this week in West Virginia. If that chemical sounds familiar, it's because it is the same explosive used in the Oklahoma City bombing. ABC's Bob Woodruff has the latest.
More than 50 FBI agents are now searching the area near Brewston Mills, West Virginia. They believe that sometime within the past 6 weeks, 50,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate were stolen from this supply bin. That's more than 10 times the amount used by Timothy McVeigh to blow up the federal building in Oklahoma City. So the FBI is taking no chances.
Our main focus here is to rule out any possible domestic or international terrorism.
Ammonium nitrate is commonly used as a fertilizer and would be very valuable to farmers. But the chemicals stolen were an explosive grade of ammonium nitrate, used in 95% of all commercial blasting in this country. But to transform ammonium nitrate into an explosive chemical, it must first be mixed with fuel oil, very precisely, to create a compound called ANFO.
And that's not easy. Although there are instructions even on the internet about how to make ANFO, experts say that amateurs are rarely successful.
That if you and I or somebody were just to go and read internet directions and try to build something with plain ammonium nitrate, we'd be a bigger danger to ourselves than we would be anybody else. It is a very difficult process.
But an agent from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms tells ABC News that dozens of fringe groups like the Viper Militia in Arizona have built ANFO bombs. Fortunately, there's no evidence yet of any link between this theft in West Virginia and any terrorist act. The FBI has already searched in 3 states, has several leads, and is offering a $10,000 reward. Bob Woodruff, ABC News, Washington.
Still ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday, the nation's latest drug binge. So easy, so cheap, and so dangerous. The newest golf sensation, she is younger than Tiger Woods, and she wins more often. And the first man in space, the men who flew with Alan Shepard, say goodbye.
This is World News Tonight, Saturday. Brought to you by Maalox.
1 Minute Maalox.
In hospitals, speed counts. Fast-acting medicines, doctors rely on them. So when patients get heartburn, they get 1 Minute Maalox, not Pepcid AC.
Maalox goes to work on stomach acid in 1 minute. Pepcid AC could take over 45 minutes to affect acid.
1 Minute Maalox.
Hospitals count on it.
Shouldn't you?
The #1 choice for hospitals. It's not Pepcid AC. It's 1 Minute Maalox.
Life's an adventure because you're over 50 and still exploring. So take the Centrum made just for you, Centrum Silver, with age-essential nutrients specially adjusted to keep pace with your changing nutritional needs. Centrum Silver, it's a great time to be silver.
Why does Arm & Hammer Dental Care clean away plaque better than regular toothpaste? New tests prove it. Like this golf ball, your teeth are filled with microscopic crevices. Arm & Hammer gets in these crevices to clean plaque away better. Feels like a dentist cleaning every time you brush.
Is there a store between here and the Canadian border we haven't been to? Honey, I'm beat. I'm starving.
Here's something good for you.
Ensure bars?
Complete balanced nutrition. To go.
Ensure bars with protein, 24 vitamins and minerals, including calcium, vitamin D, iron, zinc, antioxidants, C and E. A source of complete balanced nutrition.
Delicious. What's next?
The Canadian border.
I'm ready.
Ensure bars. To your health.
The temperatures topped 100 degrees again today in Texas, the 27th day in a row. August is traditionally even hotter than July, and the forecast shows no relief for the next 5 days. The organization Habitat for Humanity escaped the 100-degree daytime temperatures in San Antonio by building houses at night. And get this, rats from the parched Texas countryside are now reportedly invading residential areas around Dallas, seeking water. A new report says doctors might have been able to save more victims of the Chicago heat wave in 1995 if they had put heat stroke victims immediately into an ice water bath. The report found 21% of heat stroke patients brought to the hospital died there. Another 16% died the following year because of damage to their internal organs. In northern New York State today, on the shore of Lake Ontario, a mystery. The massacre of more than 800 federally protected birds. The people who live nearby are not sympathetic. In fact, they say the birds were threatening the local economy. Here's ABC's Mark Mullen.
It was wildlife management with a shotgun. At an island nesting ground on the shore of upstate New York's Lake Ontario, more than 800 double-crested cormorants, a federally protected species, were slaughtered by shotgun fire. Most were fledglings, too young to fly once the shooting started.
What is so significant and appalling about this instance is that, it's surely vindictive and hate-oriented, apparently, that somebody just simply wanted these birds dead for no real apparent reason.
But authorities believe there is a reason. The once rare bird is flourishing here, eating more than 1 million bass from the lake every year. The birds are in direct competition with the fishing industry and anglers who made this videotape showing cormorants so full with fish they could barely fly. The shooting is one of several recent examples nationwide in which a species under government protection clashed with local interests. Last month near Dallas, someone bulldozed over a rookery filled with protected birds like snowy egrets and blue herons after residents complained of smell and noise. In New York, anglers have argued the cormorants have recovered beyond the point they need protection. But after 9 years of study, environmental agencies still don't have a definitive answer.
It takes years to develop data, monitoring every year as to the impacts that the cormorants are having on the fisheries, because that's what type of information is necessary to make an informed decision.
Officials say the number of birds killed on Lake Ontario won't seriously harm the bird population, but it is being called one of the worst mass killings of a protected species in recent memory. Mark Mullen, ABC News, New York.
Some news now from overseas. In Ireland, the government has released 6 notorious terrorists, members of the Irish Republican Army, as part of the peace agreement that was signed this spring. But this morning, a reminder of how fragile peace is. In Northern Ireland, a powerful bomb went off in a Protestant town southwest of Belfast. At least 6 people were hurt. When we come back, a hospital mix-up. Could a mother who thought she lost her baby 23 years ago find him alive?
I bought this car for me. But if anyone takes notice, that's okay too. Aurora, defy convention.
I got a letter back from Quaker.
You wrote to Quaker?
Told them Quaker toasted oatmeal ought to be called Quaker tasty oatmeal.
It's oatmeal, it's toasted. To me, that says tasty.
Well, then they should call it that.
Quaker toasted oatmeal. Crisp oatmeal flakes with honey-sweetened oat clusters.
Well, they thank me for my interest, but said product will remain Quaker toasted oatmeal.
What a shock.
Quaker tasty, toasted oatmeal. Your other oatmeal.
And now, Quaker Honey Nut Toasted Oatmeal has 20% more almonds.
Ooh, yum.
Now wait a minute. You know it makes me want to shout, kick my heels up and throw my hands up.
Shout gets out more tough stains better than spray and wash. In just one try. Want a tough stain out the first time? Shout it out. S.C. Johnson Wax.
You know it makes me want to shout, kick my heels up and throw my hands.
If you quit working after only 4 hours, you'd probably get fired, right?
Right.
That's what ordinary pain relievers do. Work for a while, then quit. But now there's a leave. Only a leave has the strength to work all day long with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that. So if the pain reliever you use doesn't work the way you want, fire it. Fire it and take a leave. 2 pills, all-day relief. Works for me.
Get your hot dogs here. Get your hot dogs here.
Some folks are still brushing up for the NFL preseason.
Hot your get dogs here.
Thank goodness the players are ready. The Steelers meet the Buccaneers in the Hall of Fame game next on ABC.
News today in the war on drugs. The latest battleground is America's heartland, not the inner city. The drug is methamphetamines. Seizures of speed are dramatically up, and the police are overwhelmed. Here's ABC's Anderson Cooper.
Wayne County in southern Iowa is the last place you'd expect to find a clandestine drug lab. But this week, police raided 3 homes here suspected of being used to make methamphetamine.
It's taken Iowa over by wildfire, and that's all I see is methamphetamine. And the manufacturing is going completely out of sight.
Last year, 5 Midwestern states saw a 48% increase in the number of meth labs seized, and the numbers keep rising. In Iowa alone, in the past 7 months, 120 homemade meth labs have been found, nearly double the number for all of 1997.
Once someone learns how to manufacture, they teach more people, so it's kind of like a spider web that just keeps on growing.
Growing because methamphetamine, or crank as it's also called, is relatively easy to make. The chemicals are readily available in farming communities, and the wide open spaces help hide the noxious smell produced by cooking meth. For drug addicts, the appeal is a cheap high, says this former user.
When I was doing cocaine, I was doing about anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 a day. And with crank, you can bring it down to $200 a day.
For law enforcement authorities here in Iowa, getting rid of methamphetamine labs is proving to be extremely difficult and dangerous. The labs are small, easy to hide, and the chemicals used highly toxic. Senator Tom Harkin recently sponsored a bill asking Congress to increase funding to combat meth in the Midwest.
Every time we find a meth lab in Iowa, it costs between $3,000 and $15,000 to clean it up, and there's hazardous waste there.
But even with more resources, police in Iowa admit they'll have a hard time stopping the problem. In this state's deceptively quiet countryside, the drug is just too easy to make, too appealing for those looking for a cheap, long-lasting high. Anderson Cooper, ABC News, Des Moines, Iowa.
In North Carolina, federal investigators say they want Eric Robert Rudolph to know they are not going anywhere. They've been searching the rugged landscape around the clock for 3 weeks now, and they say they will stay until Rudolph is found. Rudolph is a suspect in the bombing of a Birmingham abortion clinic. 2 stories today involving babies switched at birth. In Virginia, a woman recently learned that the girl she raised for the past 3 years is not her biological child. She now claims it may have happened because the hospital ignored its own rules and never gave the child an ID bracelet. The other dispute is in Utah, involving a child who died more than 20 years ago. Here's ABC's Jane Clayson.
Every week, Janet Johnson visits the grave of a baby she thought was her son. She now believes her son may still be alive.
I just feel like he's got to be out there somewhere.
23 years ago, after what she thought was a normal pregnancy, doctors told Johnson she had given birth to a stillborn baby boy at this hospital near Salt Lake City.
It was a devastating experience to lose my baby, but I never ever questioned it.
Not until years later, when a TV talk show about baby switching made her suspicious. Johnson meticulously gathered hospital records and medical reports that she discovered gave conflicting information about her baby's condition, and a death certificate in which a name had been altered. Janet Johnson finally decided to have the body exhumed, and DNA tests proved the baby she buried 23 years ago was not hers.
I always thought there's a possibility that the report could come back that way. But we were just in such hopes that it would be a match and that we could go on with our life.
Hospital investigators say they have no doubt the baby was stillborn, and they're focusing on an accidental switch at the morgue or mortuary.
This particular case is 23 years old. It's very hard to piece together the details at this point. This is extremely unusual.
Police are also investigating. They have ruled out a mistake at the mortuary, but have very few other leads.
We're not investigating a criminal matter right now. We're investigating a suspicious circumstance.
Johnson went on to raise 8 children, but she never forgot the one she lost. And until she finds him or the truth, she says she will not rest. Jane Clayson, ABC News, Salt Lake City.
Coming up in just a moment, breaking records, changing traditions, and rebuilding a nation's pride. Is there anything this young woman can't do?
Why does Tums control acid faster than Pepcid AC? Because they work on your stomach acid in totally different ways. Tums Calcium naturally, rapidly neutralizes acid so it works fast. Pepcid AC's famotidine has to travel through your bloodstream, so it takes at least 40 minutes to block natural acid production. So why does Tums work on acid faster and cost less, and Pepcid AC works slower and costs more?
Good question.
Tums. The Comfort Collection from Ethan Allen. Comfortably priced sofas and chairs. Custom upholstery that's at home, even if your house is a zoo. The Comfort Collection from Ethan Allen, where everyone's at home. The summer sale is on now.
Sun is rising. Shine, shine. Looks like a great day.
It's a great day for the comfort and convenience of changing tint transitions lenses. Indoors, they lighten. Outdoors, they darken. So lightweight plastic transitions lenses are right in any light. Make the change to Transitions lenses and see for yourself.
It's a great day.
Transitions lenses, right in any light and right for you.
Keep it going. Okay, that's enough. Put your stick down.
Bayer relieves the inflammation that can cause joint pain and stiffness. Tylenol can't. And taken regularly, only Bayer can help save your life by reducing the risk of another heart attack. Ask your doctor.
Okay, boys, let's play nice. Come on, come on.
Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more. Also try Extra Strength Bayer PM, the only nighttime aspirin.
In Windsor, Ontario today, Pak Se-ri is trying to become the first person ever to win 3 major titles in her first year of professional golf. But she has already lifted the spirits of an entire country. ABC's Mark Litke is in South Korea.
In the world of golf, she's a sensation. At home, she's a national hero. With every tournament, South Koreans gather to cheer her on. They're glued to sets in train stations, in college dorms, even in public baths. People can't get enough of Pak Se-ri. Koreans, in fact, are so taken with their Pak, they say she has single-handedly lifted the nation's spirits. The economy is in such terrible shape, he says, but Pak is giving us self-confidence again. Pak has restored our sense of pride. And it's more than a feeling. South Korea's stock market and currency have both strengthened since Pak's winning streak began. Economists are calling it the Pak factor. Pak's success is also changing the image of golf in South Korea. Once a game for the rich and powerful and mostly men, now it seems everyone wants to try their hand at it. Participation and sales are up 30% for the year. Despite the terrible recession here, the golf industry is booming. The most popular accessory, that gray and black shirt Pak wore in the U.S. Open. Shops can't keep them in stock. But the biggest interest of all is among the young, boys and girls, encouraged by their doting parents, trying to become the next Pak Se-ri. The girls especially proud of their champion. Pak, it seems, has not only raised the nation's spirits, she's brought families closer together. The image of fathers teaching daughters is no small thing in this traditionally male-dominated society. Good reason for Pak Se-ri to be as proud of her countrymen as they are of her. Mark Litke, ABC News, Seoul.
When we come back, honoring a hero who soared above the rest.
Diane loves a good challenge, and this is it. Get the Advil ready. Advil means freedom from headaches fast. Headaches to muscle aches. Advil simply lets people do what they love to do.
Is there a store between here and the Canadian border we haven't been to? Honey, I'm beat. I'm starving.
Here's something good for you.
Ensure bars?
Complete balanced nutrition. To go.
Ensure bars with protein, 24 vitamins and minerals, including calcium, vitamin D, iron, zinc, antioxidants, C and E, a source of complete balanced nutrition.
Delicious. What's next?
The Canadian border.
I'm ready.
Ensure bars to your health.
I'm 64. Is there anything I can do to stop bone loss?
Absolutely. Here's proof. In a landmark clinical study, Caltrate actually stopped bone loss in women at risk for osteoporosis, whatever your age.
It's never too late for Caltrate.
Ouch.
You stop brushing with Sensodyne every day. Your dentist said Sensodyne every day helps take pain away.
Well, sometimes I feel like I'm married a dentist.
Sensodyne every day. Now for whiter teeth, use new Sensodyne Extra Whitening every day.
How do these monks eat all these gassy foods and still maintain their vow of silence? With Beano, it has a natural food enzyme that helps stop gas before it starts. Beano before, quiet after.
Sunday, sex scandals, corruption, charges of murder. Sound familiar? Well, these are headlines from a White House of the past. That and more on Good Morning America Sunday.
An American hero was remembered today in Houston. Astronaut Alan Shepard showed just how high America could aim. Here's ABC's Valerie Williams.
Nearly 40 years ago, Alan Shepard proved the frontiers of space could be conquered. And today at the Johnson Space Center, the men and women who followed his path into orbit came to eulogize Shepard's days of glory.
I want to pay tribute to him. And what a privilege it was to serve with Alan Shepard. And I'm sure that wherever it is that astronauts and explorers go when we depart this realm, one day we will all be doing together again.
Leukemia destroyed Shepard's body, but his legacy as America's first astronaut into space still stirs the imagination.
Lift off and the clock is started.
In 1961, sitting aboard a Mercury Redstone rocket with only an 88% chance of success, Shepard soared into space. His flight lasted a mere 15 minutes. But Shepard restored much of the patriotic pride the Russians stole only 3 weeks earlier by putting the first man into space.
He brought us back because Al took that challenge from the Soviets, not only as the patriot he was, Al took that personally.
Less than a month later, President Kennedy announced that America would have a man on the moon by the end of the decade. 10 years later, Shepard became the fifth man to walk the lunar surface.
I'm going to try an old sand trap shot here.
He made the Apollo 14 mission famous by taking advantage of the moon's weak gravity and driving golf balls miles into space. Shepard was criticized by some other astronauts for the stunt, but today, Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon, says Shepard's playful moment taught him something.
He showed us that that's what the American people really want. They want levity mixed in with serious commitments.
When Shepard's capsule landed from that first historic ride into outer space, he said, "Boy, what a ride." Some might say, looking back on Shepard's career, boy, what a life. Valerie Williams, ABC News, Houston.
And that is our broadcast for tonight. I'm Elizabeth Vargas. For all of us at ABC News, good night.
From the director of Men in Black, Maximum Bob, premiering Tuesday on ABC.
ABC salutes The Practice, nominated for 4 Emmy Awards, including Best Dramatic Series.
The highlight of our franchisee meeting, we have the co-founder of Pizza Hut, Mr. Frank Carney.
Recently, the retired co-founder of Pizza Hut did something surprising. He bought a Papa John's franchise.
Sorry, guys. I found a better pizza.
Today, he owns over 60 restaurants.
Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
He's got it.
Now, get a large 2-topping Papa John's pizza for just $7.99. Carry out only.
In the Mazda Protege, you and 3 friends can comfortably go anywhere you want.